Did Charlotte Flair just shoot on the entire history with Becky Lynch by revealing the truth about their quote unquote friendship? For nearly a decade, we've watched the intertwined careers of Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch. They've been allies, bitter enemies, and two of the legendary Four Horsewomen who changed the game in WWE. But it turns out we had it all wrong. Everyone assumes that their epic on screen rivalry is built on complex real life friendship. What if Charlotte Flair just confirmed that their relationship was never about friendship at all, but something else entirely, cold and professional competition? In today's video, we're going to be breaking it all down. Now, the Four Horsewomen, Charlotte Flair once more with Becky Lynch. Recent comments from the two WWE Four Horsewomen, Charlotte Flair and Bayley, have shed new light on the complex relationships within this iconic group. While one sees unfinished business, the other claims a close friendship never existed in the first place. Look at Charlotte Flair. She believes her story with Becky Lynch is not over. Appearing on Games with Names podcast, Charlotte Flair was asked about her notoriously complicated on and off screen relationship with fellow Four Horsewomen Becky Lynch. The Queen stated that the things between them are currently positive. We're cordial. No, we're good. More notably, she revealed that she believes that their legendary rivalry has more stories left to tell. I still think that there is some story left there. There's more meat. I don't think there's a nail in the coffin yet. When asked about her favorite relation or favorite match, against the man, well, Flair pointed out to their intensely personal champion versus champion clash at Survivor Series a few years ago. Our Survivor Series match was actually incredible, she recalled. Now, let's flip it around. Bayley made a recent reveal that I thought was interesting. I covered it here on the channel, but I will recap it for you guys who may have missed it. In a sharp contrast to Flair's comments, Bayley gave a blunt assessment of the group's dynamic during an appearance on the Raw Recap podcast a few short weeks ago. Now, the role model, who is currently in a feud with Becky Lynch on television, was asked about her relationship with her two stablemates, and she revealed that the bond fans perceived was not always accurate, stating that the relationship between the three was complicated and they were never close to each other. With Bayley currently at odds with Lynch and Flair, openly stating that she wants another chapter with the man. The future of the Four Horsewomen remains as compelling and complicated as ever, because we also have Mercedes Moné, who is not in WWE. She's over in AEW, and she is doing big business. I mean, she's days away from defending or challenging rather for the AEW Women's Championship against Toni Storm and All in Texas. Now, the feud between Bayley and Becky, that is ramping up as at Evolution 2 this Sunday. It will be Becky Lynch defending the Women's Intercontinental Championship against Bayley and Lyra Valkyria in a triple threat match. Now, when it comes to Charlotte and Becky Lynch, while these two have the biggest name power and draw power, I also don't know if their rivalry is as good as Mercedes and Charlotte. They just seemed, in ring wise, to have the better dynamic, the better repertoire, the better, I don't know, they clicked better than a Becky versus Charlotte. But a Becky versus Charlotte, if you're talking about star power, if you're talking about trying to sell tickets, well, then they would obviously have the greater of the two. It really just comes down to, do you want to talk about star power? Do you want to talk about drawability? Or do you want to talk about in-ring styles? That's what it boils down to. That's what you have to look at. So if you want star power, if you want storylines, if you want promos, if you want moments, well, then I would side with Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair. But if you want in-ring skills, I would lean more towards Mercedes Moné and Charlotte Flair, or a Bayley and Charlotte. But don't sleep on Bayley and Becky. They also have